Namaste and a very warm welcome to all. My name is Jayashree Madhavan. I'm the Senior Scientific Officer of the company and the co-host for today's session. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you, your family members, friends are doing fine and safe. Just a few house rules before we get started. We have turned off the video cameras and muted all the invitees for an undisturbed listening. Due to the overwhelming response that we received for these sessions, only the first 1,000 participants will be able to view the session through the Zoom link. But however, we have the live streaming on our YouTube channel, so the other participants can view this session through the YouTube channel as well. If you have any questions during the session, please type them in the Zoom question and answer box, which you can see at the bottom of the panel. We'll bring them up during the question and answer session. Now, I would like to request our Executive Director, Dr. Anil Kumar, to take us through today's session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Jayashree. We will start the program. Good evening and namaste to all of you. Welcome all the participants, the doctors who are participating in this webinar, KALPAM Talk. KALPAM Talk is actually promoted by CARE Foundation, which is also part of Kerala Ayurveda, which is Kerala Ayurveda Research and Education Foundation. So this is a series of programs which we have been conducting. And today we have main program is a conversation with Dr. Hegde and followed by a panel discussion with three panelists, Dr. Sadar, Dr. Godwin, and Dr. Mahesh Birla. So we'll start with the conversation of with Dr. Hegde, and the panelists I will introduce them when they begin their talk. So the first part is the conversation with Dr. Hegde. We have been fortunate to have a conversation with Dr. Hegde. Actually, this was planned and discussed with our chairman, and he contacted him, and finally Dr. Hegde has agreed to have a conversation with us. And Dr. Anjali Raichu is also a physician from Mangalore. She went all over to Mangalore where Dr. Hegde is staying and had an interview with him. And that is captured, and we are now showing that pre-recorded video today. Dr. PM Hegde needs no introduction. He is a so popular doctor, a very famous cardiologist, and all the doctors know him, and we have been seeing his talks in many of the videos and public function. And we know that he has been awarded the highest award by the government of India, highest civilian award. First he got Padma Bhushan, then he was awarded Padma Vibhushan later for the contribution to the field of medicine. Dr. Hegde is a cardiologist and trained at Harvard University, Medical School of Harvard, and also he's also into various activities. He has a passion for Ayurveda. He has been working a lot on research activities in Ayurveda with the various groups, and he has published many papers on that, and also has been promoting Ayurveda as a lifestyle, as a holistic medicine to the public. So that we have seen in his talk, various talks. And he has written 35 books, more than 35 books which has published and has been very popular among, especially among doctors. And so I think I need not describe him because we all know him, his credentials, and he's a very important person to the medical society. So with this few introduction, I request we will go through the conversation which is conducted by Dr. Anjali Raichu. So we will start the video. So please, Jayasri, you can start the video. Thank
Yes.
you.
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. On behalf of our chairman Sri Ramesh Wangal and entire Kerala Ayurveda team, I welcome you all. Dr. B.M. Hegde, he needs no introduction. He is a well-known personality globally. To complete the formality, I would like to mention few of his achievements over the years. Dr. B.M. Hegde is a renowned cardiologist, professor of medicine, scientist, and author. Dr. B.M. Hegde is a former Vice Chancellor of Manipal Higher Education Society, co-chairman of VHS Diabetic Research Center, Chennai, chairman of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Mangaluru. He has been honored with B.C. Roy Award in 1999 in a category of eminent medical teacher. He has been also honored with Padma Bhushan in 2010 and Padma Vibhushan in 2021. Dr. B.M. Hegde has authored 40 books, and he has one of the bestseller and most popular big book is What Doctors Don't Get to Study in a Medical School. We all know you are a great supporter, admirer, and you are being stressing on the holistic approach of the medicine, sir. I would like to know more about it.
No, see, the holistic in the sense, one system should not dominate. Then it becomes bad. Like for modern medicine, we think should dominate the whole thing. No, it's not true. Because when we became independent, so-called in 1947, we didn't have an Indian government to support it. Look at China. Chinese medicine is being practiced here in New York today, legally, but not Ayurveda, because Ayurveda cannot be practiced legally there because the government of India has not recognized it legally so far. It should have been done when we become independent. Anyway, now that it's not too late, now we can do that, and I hope our Prime Minister will do that soon. So Ayurveda will get its due place. And Ayurveda has a very important stress in medicine on the immune system. Yeah. After all, if the immune system is good, you don't have to go after the germs and things like that. Yeah. You don't have to find out what germ is doing what. If the immune system is strong, it will look after all the germs to put together. So the right thing in Ayurveda is the stress on immune system. And Ayurveda tries to improve the immune system, boost the immune system, and update the immune system. Well, once you do that, all other things will fall in place. And I hope Ayurveda will have a due place in the medical care system in due course time.
What is the optimal immunity, sir? Why is there is such thing? Where is we can attain that optimal immunity?
No, there isn't anything like that. But it's individual.
Yeah.
My immunity is different from your immunity. But individually, we can optimize our immune system. And that's the aim we should aim at.
Yes, sir. In Ayurveda, we call it as dinacharya. And I know that you follow it very religiously. So, how it is applicable in this modern era, sir?
No, dinacharya is very easy to follow even modern terms. Modern it doesn't come in the way of your dinacharya. Dinacharya is your routine, which you can maintain at any cost anyway. You are interested in maintaining this dinacharya. So dinacharya is not, it should not come in the way of your.
Even we know that you follow the Ayurveda very religiously and you do yoga also. Yeah. So we want to know more about your, how do you apply this, adopted this system, sir?
It just came naturally, that's all. I didn't try to sort of artificially do anything. It was my natural thing. Yeah. You know, my dinacharya was something that was akin to dinacharya in Ayurveda. So it adapted to that. So there's nothing special about it.
Sir, what is quantum healing?
Total healing. It's healing not only of the body, mind, and soul. That's called quantum healing.
Okay. What is the role and relevance of quantum healing in this Ayurveda system, sir?
As I told you, quantum healing also stresses the immune system. Ayurveda also stresses the immune system.
Okay.
So immune system is common to both. So if you follow the quantum healing or Ayurveda, your immune system will be boosted.
What are the preventive measures we can just during this pandemic? How to prevent it, sir? Like the COVID-19, there are many people who have been affected with that. I want to know that any preventive measures which can just be avoid the virus to get affected.
Try to avoid congested places where there are a lot of people. Don't do that. Keep a distance from each other of at least 5 to 6 feet.
Any remedies like recently Ayush government has come up with some of the guidelines and preventive measures like having the golden milk, doing the oil pulling, which is being mentioned it many years ago, and now it is being taken forward, and the Ayush government is being stressing on following these all guidelines. So what is your opinion?
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Avoiding crowded places is one of the very important things.
Okay, sir. So way forward Ayurveda, sir. How what government initiatives would speed up the Ayurveda system, sir?
As a matter of fact, if government wants to help it, they can do it in a big way. Because Ayurveda needs a little boost from the government side so that it gets a government sanction. Everything will work for it.
Okay. Is evidence-based Ayurveda is a prerequisite of the global acceptance, sir? Yeah.
Evidence-based, see, anything without evidence, if you talk, nobody will listen to that, nobody will care for it. So evidence-based Ayurveda is the best bet for Ayurveda to go forwards.
Here, any advice to the Ayurvedic doctors for the practice and to adopt Ayurveda or how to practice it in a natural way?
I want Ayurvedic doctors to love Ayurveda and practice it the way they have to do that. What they do now is, because they didn't get the medical college seat, they went into Ayurveda. And that's why they're still having their eye on the medical college seat.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part. They should have loved Ayurveda first to begin with.
Lifestyle diseases, when it comes to, is there any role or scope of Ayurveda which can heal the lifestyle diseases, or there is any lifestyle changes the people have to do?
Lifestyle changes, if they follow the dinacharya of Ayurveda, lifestyle changes automatically come in.
Yeah. One of the disorder which you have done the research on it is the diabetes. Yeah. You are associated with VHS Diabetes Research Center. We want to know more about it. There are a lot of myths about diabetes as such. like having a lot of sugar, we get the diabetes, or there are many acquired ways to get the diabetes. So we want to know detailed research what you have done on the diabetes, sir, and how Ayurveda can help on it.
No, Ayurveda, can help in the sense that diabetes is not a disease which is acquired as we think it is by eating sugar. Diabetes comes with your genes. So diabetes is a genetic disorder with your genes. So you can help it by just improving your immune system, your dinachari or your lifestyle.
Okay. So what measures we can take, sir, to avoid the sugar levels to go up, like
Exercise,
okay,
diet, and not worrying about sugar.
Do you think that it is more of the Manasa Roga, or is it is an
All rogas are manasa rogas if you go deep into it. There is an element of the mind in every disease, and diabetes is no exception to that.
okay. So when it comes to the Manasa Roga, and we keep giving the medicines to the patient, like to get the sugar levels to the normalcy, then what the best we can do on it, sir, like to get rid of the stress.
No, educate the person first. What is important is education. Educate the person about the disease, diabetes, before you start treating him. And he should know what is diabetes, how to control it, and what is his responsibility of maintaining blood sugar. And if he does that, everything will fall in place.
Do you think any certain exercise or yoga or pranayama helps to
No exercise. Walking is the best exercise I have found.
Okay, people run, people jog. Is that the best one, or
No, running and jogging are good for the orthopedic surgeons later life because you damage all your joints. No, walking is the best.
Walking is the best.
Yes, walking is not only the best; it's natural. It's a way of nature. How man is meant to walk.
Yeah.
Not to sit in a place.
What is your opinion on yoga and pranayama?
No, pranayama and yoga are good to the extent that they'll aid and abet the efforts of the other systems in diabetes.
Your advice an Ayurvedic doctor in a current period when there is a greater awareness of healing power of nature.
Yeah, I think Ayurveda doctor should take advantage of that system. That the healing power, nature has a healing power, and they should assist nature through their patient education to help sustain and maintain the good health.
I have seen your one of the book, Nature Cure, and live longer, live healthier, which is, we have mentioned a lot of home remedies and a lot of ways to boost up the immunity also. So I want to know more about is there in the Nature Cure book, sir. I'm curious about it.
Just assist nature to help man to boost his immune system.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to know more about the book you have authored, the name, what you don't get to study, doctors don't get to study in a medical school. What is it all about, sir? Because it's a most popular and the best seller book of yours.
No, because what is important is we don't know. We don't teach the students the real things in medical school. Like, for example, the immune system, the boosting of the immune system, and how to control the lifestyle diseases, etc. That what is left out has been highlighted in the book. That's all.
Okay. Because it's the most popular book of yours. I have seen many people going through the book, reading it. They are following it.
Good.
So, yeah. And
I'm happy.
Sir, I want to know more about the coconut oil, what you have mentioned, and you have said that it is equal to the mother's milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to know how it is going to give benefits to the
coconut oil is, in the coastal area at least, for thousands of years we have been basing our diet on coconut oil.
Yeah.
And coconut oil is the ideal diet because it contains lauric acid and monolaureates
Yes.
and other laureates that coconut oil has is what the body needs. So it's natural to the body.
Yeah.
And that's the right oil to use.
Okay. Sir, what is the best way to get rid of cholesterol, sir?
In my opinion, cholesterol is in itself is not a disease.
Okay.
We have made a mountain out of a molehill.
Okay.
Cholesterol is not a disease.
Okay.
Fat is of course bad.
Yeah.
Too much of fat is bad.
Okay.
And cholesterol is one part of the fat.
Okay, sir. There are many medicines which have come up to get the cholesterol levels to the normal. So how you like? We don't need to have any medicine for that, or
No,
naturally
diet only.
Only
Diet
diet
and exercise. Best is walking.
Okay. Yeah.
Your cholesterol comes down to normal if you walk every day.
Okay. How can we keep Ayurveda to its origins, sir?
Ayurveda doesn't need any refinement. It's perfect in itself. So its origin, whatever is Ayurveda's origin, is good enough for even modern times.
Well, today there is a lot of improper use of Ayurveda to attract consumer interest. What is?
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad, Any alteration that you make to attract consumerism is bound to be bad in the long run.
Important is the quality of Ayurveda, sir.
Very important. You must maintain the quality, then only Ayurveda will be effective.
What do you think about need for the standardization, sir?
There is a need for standardization because it must be uniform all over. Globally, it should be standardized.
Can Ayurveda be considered as a mainstream treatment modality and allopathic system of medicine as an emergency medicine, sir?
Yeah. Actually, that is how it is, actually. For emergencies, modern medicine is a must. Ayurveda is for all other purposes. There's a wrong conception. There is nothing called the speed of action. Ayurveda doesn't have to be fast acting. Ayurveda has to be complete, that's all. And modern Ayurveda is no different from the ancient Ayurveda. Ayurveda has not changed, it will not change, it will remain the same.
Sir, if you are a young man with an option of being an allopathy doctor or Ayurveda doctor, what would he choose? What he would choose?
I would have become an Ayurvedic doctor.
Can Ayurveda and allopathy join hands in hands in meaningful way?
Yeah. I told you. If Ayurveda and modern medicine can join together, understanding each other, nothing like it for the mankind's future. We are boosting modern medicine and we are making people realize modern medicine is the be-all and end-all of healthcare, which is not true. And modern medicine, as I told you, historically was not patronized by our government when we became independent. So it lost its importance. Chinese medicine, for example, is practiced anywhere in New York also, because the Chinese government supported the health right from day one. Found that no system of medicine that we practice is complete in itself, including modern medicine. Though we say it's complete, it's adequate and no. When I found that it is inadequate, I looked around and I found Ayurveda was also a good choice. That's how I got into Ayurveda. Yeah, I have a message. Ayurveda is the best science to boost your immune system, by which you don't have to go in search of the germs that cause the disease, etc. If your immune system is primed to its best state, you don't have to worry about what germ causes what, and mutation of germs, etc., etc. You don't have to worry about that. First of all, the government should start you must bring the government to do that, and you can motivate the government to do that. Now is the right time because we have a prime minister who is conducive to understand these things, because he popularized yoga and he can also popularize Ayurveda. So you have to impress upon him that Ayurveda deals with the immune system of the body, and so you don't have to worry about the germs. You only have to boost the immune system of the body.
Incorporate basic Ayurveda knowledge in school curriculum to attract new generation.
It's a very good idea, as a matter of fact. Lot of students, younger generation, don't know what Ayurveda is all about. So it's better to introduce them to this in the school level itself, so that they know what it is, so that they can have a little more interest in that.
The specialization good or bad for Ayurveda, sir?
No, there is nothing called specialization in Ayurveda. Ayurveda itself is a specialty.
How to create awareness of Ayurveda among the public, sir?
That's what I say. One of the methods is to introduce that school and colleges, so that the students, to get to know what Ayurveda is all about.
How to initiate collaborative studies with various scientific disciplines, sir?
Yeah, that can be done if you talk to the scientific disciplines concerned. If they have no hang-ups about Ayurveda, they'll cooperate.
Is the obesity cause of all the diseases, sir?
No, obesity is not an abetting factor. Obesity makes you prone to almost all diseases more than the non-obese person, including accidents. Physiotherapy.
Okay.
Good physiotherapist can cure you of your backache without causing any damage to any part. Because back surgery is not a good idea at all.
Tell us about the home remedies, sir. Any home remedies to boost the immunity, which is
Our food itself, Indian food itself is a booster to the immune system. With all the spices that we use in our diet.
Thank you very much, sir, giving us the opportunity, allowing us to ask few questions and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Pleasure was entirely mine. Thank you very much for coming all the way and taking your time to do this. I am impressed. Thank you.
So that was the conversation with famous Dr. Hegde, and the question and answer session was conducted by Dr. Anjali Raichur, and she has put up various questions which is relevant to the day, because we are going through a pandemic, and the holistic approach and whatever Hegde has been preaching actually has come out with all the suggestions. It was a very good interaction. And out of this conversation, what we found is that he has been focusing and stressing more on immunity. And so that is the buzzword for Ayurveda and also for the current pandemic era. So everybody has to have the immunity. Then he was also talking about the lifestyle diseases, where actually talked about various, asked about the lifestyle diseases. So that was the major one subject which he covered. Then there was that, what evidence-based Ayurveda and how Ayurveda is to be propagated, and what is the message, like the youth, all this was covered, and he has answered it in a very clear manner. So in that context, we thought we will have a panel discussion on these main three subjects. One is the immunity, then the second part is the lifestyle diseases, and also finally we thought of having an evidence-based Ayurveda awareness among public, because what we need is an awareness among public on the right path, because whatever this is the right opportunity, because everybody has started using Ayurvedic medicine because of COVID. Ayurveda has a tremendous popularity among public, not only in India but abroad. So this is the right time to propagate Ayurveda. So we thought we can talk on that line. So the first part will be on immunity, which will be covered by Dr. Godwin. The first, Godwin is a very senior doctor. He has been with us, he is working with us also. He is in Chief Medical Officer in Ayurveda Gra. And he has more than 17 years of experience. And he's also most sought out Ayurvedic physician in South India, and he has been treating many COVID patients, and the result was fantastic. I myself has, many people has called me and talked about him, and I have also directed many patients to him basically serious COVID patients, and he has managed it very well, even in the critical condition with Ayurvedic medicine. Even in a modern hospital, we managed to treat the patients, and also because of his popularity, even the collector of Vellore from Chennai contacted him and asked him to come over there and have a treat a few patients where they have started COVID facility. And he went there, and good number of patients has been managed, mainly with classical products. We provided the products to them, and so he is an expert in all this aspect, and it's basically on immunity. So we thought we'll select Dr. Godwin for this immunity part. So I now welcome Dr. Godwin and request you to present your topic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Anil Kumar, for a wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Dr. Godwin here. Good morning to people logging in from different other places. I have seen few people from Germany, and also good afternoon. So I'm Dr. Godwin, coming in live from Bangalore. As we have been listening from the great legend, Dr. B.M. Hegde, about the aspects of immunity and different things on Ayurveda. So I'm going to share a couple of things on how to understand immunity from Ayurvedic point of view, in a pure Ayurvedic point of view, and then how we can protect our body against any pandemics coming in future, the current and also in future. So that's what I'm going to talk to all of you in the next few minutes. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, great. I hope you all can see. Jayashree is clear, right?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, thank you. So relevance of Ayurveda today in the aspect of immunity. So that's what is our topic. So in general, I want to give you a little bit of an understanding of what is an immunity from the Western point of view and what's an immunity in Ayurvedic point of view, because there are a lot of participants who are also from non-medical background. So immunity is basically the balanced state of multicellular organisms having adequate biological defenses to fight against any infection, disease, or other unwanted biological invasions, namely bacteria, virus, fungus, and things like that. And also adequate tolerance to avoid allergies and autoimmune diseases. So that's the basic definition of immunity. From the general modern point of view, immunity is two types. One is our natural immunity, which is our own health. Ayurveda calls it as, three types. Trivida Balam, we call it as Vyadhi Shamatva. Vyadhi is disease, Shamatva is resistance. Number one is Sahaja, which is inherited, which is our natural immunity from your genetic, strength. So some people have good genes and they have good immunity. And then based on the Kala, Ritu, Kala means season, Ritu, season, Kala is time, and also age, based on the age. And the third one is your activities, so based on your lifestyle, your food habits. So these three gives us strength to the body, which is the Balam in Ayurveda, in Sanskrit. And the second, acquired immunity, which is through vaccination and immunization drive. These are the two general types of immunity. So generally it works like this. Most of you know that once we inject a virus, which is alive or dead, the body's WBC will recognize that, identify that, and fight against the virus. So that's what is the concept of immunization. So we have live vaccines and also dead vaccines. The current one on COVID, which is Covishield, is based on the dead live virus, and the Covaxin is on the dead vaccine, to give you some kind of an understanding on the background. So immunization is the process of giving vaccination to in a mass, and making us immune to the particular virus. So that's what is immunization. So just to give you basic understanding of how Ayurveda is understanding immunity, before that, couple of minutes, I want to talk about how Ayurveda is understanding the human body, because that's very important for the general public also to understand. So while modern science, Western medicine is easy to understand because it's based on the physics and chemistry background, and anatomy, physiology is easily available. But Ayurveda is based on darshanas. Okay, so especially the Sankhya philosophy. So it's based on the 5 element theory. So most of you might have heard about this: earth, water, fire, air, and space, which gives rise to 3 functional elements called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Okay, so Vata is basically a combination of Vayu and Akasha. Vayu means air, Akasha is space, Pitta is fire and water, and Kapha is earth and water. Just to give you a little bit of a background. So why Vata is responsible for all the movements in the body, and Pitta is responsible for the metabolism, and Kapha is giving the strength and stability to the body. So the Sankhya philosophy is basically on rational thinking, okay, examination, to calculate, to enumerate. Okay, so that's why generally people think Ayurveda is not scientific, is because it's not coming under the physics and chemistry understanding, but it has its own, understanding of Indian philosophy, which is to calculate, to enumerate, to reason, to have the evidence, to have the proof other than the physics and chemistry background. So that's why it's very important to understand that aspect too. So there are 4 important characters which we consider as a human being. Number 1 is the physical body, which we all can see. Then we have a metaphysical mind, which is Ayurveda believes, mind is all over the body. And then we have 5 sense organs, which connects the body and the mind. And then we have the soul, which is the Atma. So these 4 entity has to be, in a holistic way, it has to be treated. Like the great legend, Dr. B. N. Nagde was talking in the previous, thing that, holistic approach, when we see body as a whole, unity with all the mind, body, mind, soul, and sense organs, it can be treated. So the modern science comes only under the physical structure, so that's what it's all about. So Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, which we have already seen that. So the Agni, the digestive fire, which is responsible for the digestion. So once the digestion happens properly, then the absorption and the body gets the nourishment to the 7, the dhatus or the structure. So Srotas means there are a lot of minute microscopic channels in our body which transports this nutrition, other than the blood vessels back, this arteries, veins, and capillaries. Beyond that, each and every cell is connected through small, minute microscopic channels. Those are called Srotas. So those has to be kept clean. And the 7 dhatus is the full structure of the body. And, I already spoke about the 4 aspects. And the human body is understood like this. The normal body is made up of 5 elements, just like our earth where we are living. Okay, so we are a small particle in this big universe. We are a small microcosm in this big, macrocosm. So our body is also made up of 5 elements. So to understand the human body, how the structure is maintained, we need to know something called dual mechanism, the heat and cold factor. Okay, so just like how the sun and the moon is responsible for the earth to be kept without any degeneration, sun represents the heat and moon represents the cold. Okay, so both has to be in adequate form so that the structure, which is the earth, can be maintained without any damage. Imagine if only sun is there all the time, there's a lot of heat, everything will melt. We all cannot survive. Imagine only moon is there, everything will froze. Okay, the cold temperature. So that's why there is a balance of heat and cold. Similarly, in our body also, we have the heat factor, which is the Pitta, fire, and the cold factor, which is the Kapha. With adequate Vata, all these 3 together is maintaining the human body without any structural damage. So the ultimate aim of any medical science is to prevent this structure, which what you see physically, without any structural damage. So that's what is dual mechanism. So this is in together, about this physiology of Ayurveda. The balance of Vata. Vata is the air element, which is situated mainly in the large intestine, which is the big intestines. From there, it gives the strength to the Agni or the fire. The Vata blows the fire. Because of the Agni or the fire, the digestion and absorption happens. And then the transportation of the nutrition through all the structures in the body, the dhatus, through the minute microscopic channels, and thereby we are maintaining the structure of the body. That's where the structure, that level only the Western science comes. Okay, below that, these 4 or 5 factors is not understood by them so far. That's why a lot of chronic diseases, there is no clarity in the Western point of view. So as Ayurveda is having this clarity, it is relevant today, tomorrow, and going to be. Okay, so that's the understanding. So what we can do on immune boosting at home, we will see it in 2 aspects: physical well-being and mental well-being. And physical well-being, what Ayurveda recommends is eating balanced food, eating on time, eating the right quantity, and proper intake of water based on the place where you live, based on the season, and based on the work what you do, based on the activities you do. And regular intake of ginger, garlic, turmeric, tulsi, pepper, coriander, jeera, etc. And these are all Indian way of cooking. That's one of the reasons the pandemic was actually, the death rate was not so high compared to many other European countries, is because of our way of cooking. That's my personal understanding. So drink adequate lukewarm water on a daily basis so that the Srotas, the channels in the body can be kept clean. And this is recommended by Government of India Ayush Ministry. drinking herbal tea made of tulsi, cinnamon, black pepper, dry ginger, resins, with jaggery once a day, and golden milk, which even Dr. B.M. Day was talking about, 1 spoon, half a teaspoon of turmeric in milk, and Chavanprash 1 teaspoon twice a day. So all these will take care of your acne. Okay. So imagine, like, if you take a cotton swab and rub it in your throat and put it under a microscope, and if you examine, you will see a lot of bacteria like streptococci, pneumococci, and staphylococci, and all those will be there. But why we are not getting pneumonia? It's because of our acne. So if you have good acne, digestive fire, you will not usually have any issues, even though we are carrying a lot of viruses and bacteria, on daily basis. So mental well-being, practice of yoga, pranayama, meditation for 30 minutes, reading positive attitude books for 20-30 minutes a day, and sleep, very important, adequate sleep, and spending good time with your family and friends, and speaking positive, which is very important, for keeping your immunity at a good shape. And in Kerala Ayurveda, we have a couple of things, which will help you to boost your immunity. And Chavanprash, which is well known for most of us, very important to have on daily basis to boost our immunity. So a couple of patent medicines we have in Kerala Ayurveda, which is the Resijust on resistance against respiratory health issues, and we have Umijust for overall immunity. This is very important to boost your immunity. And in classical medicine, we have Amritotram Kwath and Indukantam Kwath, which we widely used in the last pandemic also, in the first wave and second wave, as Dr. Anil Kumar was talking about in the government of Tamil Nadu, in the Vellore district. The health secretary, Dr. Radhakrishnan, inaugurated this session on Kerala Ayurveda's initiative on, mass actually immunization based on these two kashayams, Indukantam and Amritotram. In the stage 1 COVID patients, many of them got very good benefit. In fact, we have given 20,000 small kits in the last year and this year in the entire Vellore district and also a few other places, which really helped to contain the pandemic. That's what the Vellore district collectors, personal testimony, which I was part of in the panel for some time to help them to, help them to work on that. And of course, what we can see in the last so many years, thousands of years, so many, flus and, viruses have attacked human being. So the common one, most of you know about the Spanish flu in the 1920s, when we had swine flu, bird flu, SARS, COVID-1, and then Ebola, Nipah, many dengue flare-ups, Zika viruses. Now currently we have COVID-19 and many more to come in future. Okay, so what it shows is, instead of course, we have to have immunization, vaccination, all those things. But then if you take care of your own immunity through the nature-given Ayurveda, you will be able to, prevent your, your health and also your family's health. So this makes it very clear that the future depends on our immunity. So just like, Intel inside computers, we have our own inbuilt immunity inside. We can take responsibility to improve our own immunity with the nature-given Ayurveda. And we as Kerala Ayurveda is very proud to associate, with a lot of organizations on building the immunity and, globally. Okay, so with that, I would like to hand over back to Dr. Anil Kumar for the next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Godwin. That was a very informative session on your presentation on immunity, and you're covered from natural immunity and artificial immunity. Now everybody is depending on vaccination. A lot of controversy is there, but still it is giving us a lot of benefits. But apart from that, the natural immunity is very important, and that awareness should go to the public. And you were talking about the Tridosha. Actually, it is part of the Ayurvedic philosophy, right from the Sankhya Darshana and all darshanas, and then connecting to dosha, Agni, so this. So we have covered everything, and with some few of the products, which is very good for immunity. And throughout India now, we have been using this by all Ayurvedic doctors, and tremendous benefit has been given to the patients and the society. But as last webinar also, we talked about the documentation, which I think some way it has to happen. It is happening. So maybe in the long run, we will have more talk on immunity and how we can popularize it among the public. So we will take up the question and answers in the after all the speakers talk. But I think that will be much better. So we will talk, come back to the questions and answers later. Now I would like to invite Vaidya Mahesh Gokul Chand Birla, popularly known as Dr. Mahesh. He is a very popular doctor and has been very famous for his treatments, especially on chronic diseases and lifestyle diseases. He has passed out from Tilak Ayurveda Mahavidya Pune and has a distinction in Divya Guna and as a Shastra. Stood third rank in the second and third examination. And stood first in the college of K. Chandra in the college. And he has done a lot of work in infertility, recurrent pregnancy loss, antenatal care, respiratory diseases. These are the focus areas. And last 24 years, he has been working on with many junior doctors and developing them. That's a very good thing for doctors doing. And he has a very good IP facility with more than 30 beds and an OPD facility with Panchakarma treatment rooms. And so he's doing a very good practice in Ayurveda and also promoting Ayurveda not only among patients but also in public and as well as among students. So he's the right person for us to talk on lifestyle diseases. With these few words, I introduce Dr. Mahesh and request you to present your subject. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Kerala Ayurveda and all the team for inviting me for this wonderful webinar. I am practicing in Jalgaon, Maharashtra for last 26 years in Ayurveda, and all chronic diseases, then lifestyle diseases can be cured with Ayurveda very well. This is my topic for today. I'm sharing my screen, just a minute. Relevance of Ayurveda today. We heard respected Dr. Hegde sir. Many things we came to know from him that Ayurveda is a great science.
Doctor,
I know. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you, doctor. The presentation is not visible.
Okay, just a minute, just a minute. Visible?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I know apart from doctors, some common audience is also there. So I am introducing Ayurveda in short in few minutes. As we all know, Ayurveda is science of life. Harmony of body, mind, sense organ and soul is well defined as life. Sometimes we found that the people says we don't have any disease. But mere absence of disease is not health. Rather, the state of enjoying uninterrupted physical, mental, and spiritual happiness is health in the real sense. Treatment with Ayurvedic medicines, Panchakarma, one can enjoy ultimate goals of life, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Achievement of optimum health includes maintenance, promotions of health, as well as cure of illness, and are said as unique objective of Ayurveda. We can say in Sanskrit that is swasthasya swastharakshanam and aturasya vyadhi prashamanam. In daily routine life, we are coming across some lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, thyroid illnesses, obesity, infertility, polycystic ovarian syndrome, then cholesterol, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, chronic liver diseases, and COPD. Causes of all these diseases are irregular meals timing. That means the timing of food pattern is different. Then packed foods, disturbed and delayed sleep pattern, anxiety and worries, lack of physical activities, holding natural urges, that is Vega Avrodh. Then excess use of electronic gadgets, family issues and stresses. How to prevent these lifestyle diseases? Ayurveda is a unique science. Dincharya and Rutucharya. Dincharya means your daily routine and Rutucharya is your seasonal routine. Along with spiritual healing, regular exercises like yoga, and meditation, pranayam, spending a quality time with friends and family, and along with that, avoid excess use of social media. I think these are main factors with which we can prevent these lifestyle diseases. People may doubt what you say, but they always believe what you do. If you will say that with Ayurveda medicines and Ayurveda Sadrutta and Achara Sainam, we can avoid lifestyle diseases, they won't believe. But if we will give them evidences, then they will believe. I am presenting some 2 or 3 cases for this. This is coronary artery disease case. Male or 39 years old male. This jeweler came with complaining of left-sided chest pain. The pain was radiating towards left shoulder and some dyspnea on exertion, breathlessness after walk. After examining, I told him that you go and do cardiovascular evaluation, and after investigation found triple vessel disease and advised urgent bypass surgery. But because of small age, the patient was not ready. He told that I will go with Ayurvedic management with due risk. When I took his history, I found that his lifestyle is full of stress. His food is delayed and irregular in timing, having long-standing constipation. He was tobacco chewing and left tobacco 5 years ago. His sleep pattern was also disturbed. So I advised him, if you want to go with Ayurveda, you have to change your habits and your lifestyle. He was ready, 100% ready. So I gave him some schedule that your food breakfast should be 8:30, lunch between 12 to 1, dinner before 8 o'clock, and your sleep should be 10 to 6, almost 8 hours. And of course, avoid social media and regular exercise and walking. Increase these things gradually because he was unable to walk initially. Started some Ayurvedic treatment that is Dipan, Pachan and Anuloman Dravya. I am not focusing this topic more because of time, because it is a long topic, but just giving clue. And along with these medicines, after he felt light and Am Pachan happened, we started with Panchakarma like Mrudu Virachan, detoxification, and some external massages, Ruddhara, Rudbasti, Shirodhara, and detoxifying enemas. After some days, his chest pain was reduced. He can walk properly. And I told him that every quarterly you visit cardiologist because of risk was there. And when that cardiologist was examining him properly, he was surprised. Yaar, tu kya kar raha hai? That means he was surprised what is happening. Without his treatment, that patient was good. And after almost 18 months, means after 1 year and around 18 months, 1.5 years, the patient was almost fine. He can now walk properly. He can cycle 8 to 10 kilometers without any interruption. And he's going on treatment for maintenance and regular periodic panchakarma. His 2D echo and TMT is normal. I suggest him that you can do angiography once again if you are doubtful. But the cardiologist told that his collaterals are developed and no need of angiography, and blockages will be there, but collaterals are there, so no need to do angiography. This is the first case which we can, that means this heart diseases or cardiovascular problems we can solve with change in lifestyle along with Ayurveda and Panchakarma. Another case is PCOD with infertility. This is very common pattern. Common patients coming across nowadays. A 24 years old married lady came with primary infertility. Her menses was irregular, scanty flow, weight gain was there, discoloration on skin was there, hirsutism, intermittent constipation, and loss of libido. On investigation, found that bilateral bulky ovaries and peripheral multiple cysts. Her HSG was normal, TSH was increased, AMH was 9.4 because of PCOD. And because of frustration, she haven't consulted any gynecologist and endocrinologist for last 6 months. She was on Tylenol 125 milligram already. Only that medicine was continued. After primary discussion, found that she was very lazy. No exercise, junk food habits was there, sleeping in daytime almost 4-5 hours, what we call diva soap, and used to eat the remaining food of previous day. So after counseling and change of lifestyle modification, I told that you have to change all this. She was ready and started with some medicines and some home remedies. Weight reduction happened, planned Panchakarma. After 4-5 months, she got regular menses and had periodical ovulation. She conceived naturally and delivered a baby boy. So all this happens due to change in lifestyle and Ayurvedic medicine and Panchakarma. The third case was very tricky. She came towards us that doctor told to do hysterectomy, but my age is only 33 and I am not willing to do that. What can we do? So when we took history, we found that she had repeated migraine attacks, nausea, vomiting, and photophobia also there. And she already consulted neurophysician for this problem intermittently, having acidity, that is burning in abdomen, and already done endoscopy for that and was consuming some antacids intermittently. And now the problem was polymenorrhea with menorrhagia, that is excessive bleeding every 15 days. She took hormonal contraceptive pills for many months, but the relief was temporary and frustrated. She had history of chickenpox and repeated enteric fever. That was the clue for me. Her food habits was like excess spicy food, excessive consumption of cold water, very short-tempered. Her sleep pattern was disturbed, delayed sleep, and she was very negative, always shouting, crying, and some quarreling happening with her husband, and always in physical stress. After assessment, all these assessment, we found very high pitta and rakta drushti, adhog rakta pitta. Hence started with pitta prashamanam medicine, medhya medicine like Brahmi Growth, Manas Mitra Vatakam. We told her to do spiritual healing with pranayama, meditation, and moderate exercise. After some days, her migraine attacks, acidity, menstrual flow are reduced. Almost after 7 months, she was fine and stopped all medicine. This thing happened. If the patient is going to any modern doctor, the neurophysician is only focusing on his problem, not another problem. Or any gastroenterologist is focusing on his problem. But the Ayurveda is a unique science where we can check the patient thoroughly, that is Sarvadayik Parikshan, what we call, and we can find out our doshas, infected doshas and vitiated doshas and our dhatus, and we can treat with Panchakarma and medicine along with some spiritual healing. I advised her to continue regular exercise, yoga, and regular food habits, and now she is fine. All these things happen due to Ayurveda and lifestyle modification. Now we can understand how Ayurveda is important and how it is fruitful. We usually say, experience Ayurveda, love Ayurveda, and experience all these new magic miracles. These are some examples of lifestyle modification, what we are observing in our day-to-day practice. Thank you for patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Mahesh Birla. Your explanation on the lifestyle diseases and the 3 cases which presented and the benefits the patients got is also very important, and how you are popularizing Ayurveda, that's very nice, especially on the coronary heart diseases and the PCOD area. So that was very informative. Thank you very much. Now we will move on to Dr. Sadat Dinakar. Dr. Sadat Dinakar is a very popular doctor in Kerala, and also not only in Kerala, he's known across India now, because he's also heading a very famous and big Ayurvedic association called Ayurveda Medical Association of India, AMI, and he is the General Secretary of AMI, and he is a very senior physician and has been working with Kerala Ayurveda for more than 22 years. He started from Mumbai, and now he's based at Ernakulam Clinic, and he is having a roaring practice. And he is a member of Travancore Medical Council, and also a member of the 14th 5-year plan working group of Government of Kerala. And he is also chief editor of Apta, which is a very popular Ayurvedic magazine among Ayurvedic doctors. And he is also a popular doctor with basically on treating many chronic diseases, and a very I always wonder how he managed this practice and this association work together, because both are very tedious work, but he manages it. So I appreciate that, Dr. Sadat. So I welcome you to this webinar, and your subject is relevance of evidence-based Ayurveda and awareness among public. So we look forward for your talk. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And good evening, everybody. Am I audible, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfectly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Anil sir. And I would like to express my gratitude for giving this opportunity for Kerala Ayurveda. And thank you, Dr. Hekteji and Dr. Godwin, Dr. Mahesh Birla for their inspiring and informative talks. Thank you so much. I think that today's subject, we would like to discuss about how to promote the Ayurveda under the COVID situations like that. The past few years, we know that the pandemic has created havoc among the people, the economy, and the medicine. It has put the world of medicine and preventive healthcare into a frenzy. The pressure on the medical industry has mounted like never before. The world's health perceptions have changed. The whole world have realized that our health is our own responsibility. Everyone is convinced that the prevention is more important than cure. Thousands of years ago, Ayurveda put forward the same principle. In India, the people have turned to their roots and adopted the pure living lifestyle. They have shifted their choices from preventive healthcare to natural remedies to boost immunity. Ayurveda has made a very strong foothold during the pandemic years. All continues to be growing as a preferred from the medicine among many. More and more people are adopting and getting acquainted with the concept of Ayurveda and its benefits. And now the whole world has accepted the health perspectives of Ayurveda. The coronavirus pandemic has turned the world's attention to the immune system, the body's defense force against disease-causing organisms. The Ayurveda, several treatment options are available for enhancing immunity. These include the certain immunomodulators known as Rasayana, like Chyanapras and all the things Dr. Godwin already mentioned about that. Many COVID-19 patients who are in their primary stage and those who have recovered from the diseases are turning to Ayurveda in India to effectively combat the disease. Ayurveda played a pivotal role in the prevention as well as the treatment of COVID-19. in the treatment of COVID-19, the central government had given the opportunity to treat both mild and moderate cases using Ayurveda medicines, which was followed by the state governments. In Kerala, the same system was enacted and the program named Amrutam, one program is Amrutam, was formed for the preventive aspect of the other one, the Bheshajam program was for curing mild and moderate cases of COVID-19 cases. The notable findings were evolved from it. Considering the Amrutam project, as it was planned for prevention, over 1.5 lakh people were given medicines. When a comparison was made between the people who had taken the medicines from Amrutam project, those who had not taken, it was found that when 5 people who had not taken the preventive medicines from Amrutam project were affected with COVID-19, while 1 person who had taken the medicine was affected. That means 5:1 is the ratio. Moreover, among the people who consumed medicines from Amrutam project, the prevention project, only 0.5% of them were affected with the COVID-19. That too, they had no comorbidities and also were not severely affected with the symptoms of these diseases. Likewise, the Bheshajam, the project implemented for the treatment of COVID-19, was also a great success. The patients who took the medicines got cured very soon and also got a negative test result of COVID-19 within few days of consumption of medicines. This was a scheme to treat the mild and moderate category patients with Ayurvedic medicines. Around 1 lakh COVID patients have been cured through this scheme, which treated various symptoms like cough, fever, shortness of breath, diarrhea, body ache, and headaches using Ayurvedic medicines. The post-COVID rehabilitation is a hot topic nowadays. We also have an important role in post-COVID treatment. Ayurveda sector finds a golden opportunity in the area of post-COVID management. Ayurveda put forward a theory in which the cure doesn't mean only a lack of symptoms. But the complete transformation of body, mind, and the continuation before the COVID-19 phase. That is a real post-COVID management. The post-COVID rehabilitation is the method that the Ayurveda is successfully following. In the post-COVID phase, the people are affected with various ailments. Autoimmune diseases like arthritis, psoriasis have been aggravated. The lifestyle diseases like diabetes and insomnia, heart problems, and lot are became worse. The current situation is that life is not able to move forward due to the many health problems of post-COVID conditions. Rejuvenation is a treatment of choice for those recovering from the diseases. The Ayurvedic treatment had helped them to boost the immune system and to eliminate the physical and mental ailments that affect the people after recovering from the COVID-19. The concept based on Ayurveda in post-COVID rehabilitation should be presented and promoted, which would be very beneficial for the community. Which opportunity can be utilized effectively in the tourism sector, especially in the health tourism. Moreover, central government has introduced Ayurvedic visa in health tourism sector now, so it can be also be utilized. Together with that, the evidence is the most important thing. So the evidence-based Ayurveda should be promoted, which is a prime responsibility for the Ayurveda sector. The science evolves through a rigorous and continuous research. Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of care and longevity, needs to be validated on the modern scientific research methodology, taking care not to compromise with the basic tenets of the philosophy. The full system validation would be the right approach in this direction. The Indian government has pledged its full support to the word of Ayurveda. The National Ayush Mission, established in India to promote Ayush medical systems through the affordable Ayush services. Herbs are making comeback now, and there is a herbal renaissance is taking place all over the world. According to the World Health Organization, herbs are used by 75% of the world's population for basic healthcare. The 25,000 countries are participating in the Global Ayurveda Festival 2021, demonstrating the interest the increasing interest of Ayurveda in the traditional medical medicines. It's a possibility are exposed to the world. The students from all over the world are flocking to India to research Ayurveda, herbal medicines, and now it is a perfect time to consider global wellness. The deeper research in Ayurveda and conventional forms of medicines are needed to expand its scope and popularity. By realizing the significance of global acceptance of Ayurveda, WHO has decided to launch the International Research Center for Alternative Medicine in India. The whole world is looking forward for Ayurveda as a simple, safe, and side effect-free treatment. We need to take this advantage of this opportunity now. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Sadat, for that informative speech on evidence-based Ayurveda and awareness. I know that you were involved in that Kerala government project, basically on that Amrudam project and the Bheshajam project. And that was a wonderful experience for all of us. A lot of patients got cured with Ayurvedic treatment. We were astonished to see that how the side effects of COVID has been treated very well, and people has coming back. So that information is very information. I think probably documentation might have happened, and we were talking on that. And more than 1 lakh patients got the benefit out of this. So that's a wonderful information to all of us. And of course, what you mentioned about the post-rehabilitation part of COVID is very important, because people are suffering with various aspects of this COVID pandemic, and that itself can be a major area where we can promote Ayurveda globally. And India can be a destination, especially Kerala can be a destination for this, because these classical products are more available in Kerala. That's what I was talking about Kerala. Popularity and the Ayurvedic use is now getting even worldwide recognition. WHO is also promoting Ayurveda, so that's also again a very good thing. And again, Dr. Hegde was mentioning about, even Prime Minister is interested in this, so that's also an advantage. And one point which Dr. Hegde and Dr. Anjali mentioned is that younger generation has to be attracted to Ayurveda. So if you can include some portion of the Ayurveda, the curriculum of schools, +2 and high school, then that will be a good advantage to attract the. So I think AMI is also working on that to include the Ayurveda in the curriculum. That's a very good idea, and we should work for that, even with the central government, to bring in CBSE curriculum in the CBSE curriculum also. So that was a very informative speech. Thank you, Dr. Sadat, for that information, and especially on the work you have been doing with Kerala government. Of course, now the 3 speakers' speech is over, and it has been a good session. I think few questions and answers are coming in. Basically, there are general questions are there. I am not going to take all of them, because so probably I would start with one question, which is for Dr. Godwin. How to increase the gut flora on a daily basis, as 90% of immunity belongs to our gut. So please suggest what we can do for the digestion and the management of the gut flora. That's one question.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Anil. So as I was talking in my presentation, what Government of India's guidelines actually to improve the digestive system is having the herbal tea combination with the ginger, tulsi and turmeric and dalchini and jaggery and tulsi and things like that. So that will help on daily basis if you can have. And also our age-old formula Chyawanprash, which can be of very much helpful on the gut health. So basically, eat when you feel hungry, eat the right quantity, and eat, the right things, what is recommended according to Ayurvedic science is basically food should be warm. It should not be so much oily, gluey, cheesy kind of food. So that's very important. Because if your Agni is weak, your gut health will become weak. That is what Ayurvedic understands. So to keep your health, Agni in good health, that's very important to eat the right quantity, the right time, and eat only when you are hungry.
Thank you. And there is one more question for you from Dr. Sujalata from Manipur. She wants to know that what are some of the good Deepana, Pachana, and Nilomana drugs?
Okay, great. So traditionally in classical medicine, we have this Amritotram Kwat, Amritotram Kashan, which is very easily available in our Kerala Ayurveda, websites and also in our stores. So that's a very good Amapachana and Deepana. And Anuloma, you can, common thing what we use is Triphala tablets or Triphala Churna, and also, Gandharvastadi Kwat, which is also Agni Deepana, Kwat Anulomana, and Mala Shodhana. So good for the constipation too. So in classical preparation, you can use Amritotram Kwat and Gandharvastadi Kwat for both of these purposes.
Thank you, doctor. So there is another question. This is to Dr. Mahesh. What is the best treatment for nerve weakness? Tremor in hand, and age is around 33. Can you suggest a few remedies for that?
The cause of nerve treatment is important, sir. If the patient is old age, then we have to give some medicines that is balya. That means it will increase the strength of nerve, like Ashtavarga Kashai, some Makar Dhwaj like Suvarna Kalpas, then some Shirodhara, then Nasyam, Shiropichu. Along with that, some Vastis like Rajappan Vasti, which will enhance their strength through gut. These are the common things we can do for nerve weakness. But still, some patients like Parkinsonism and old age people, they can manage, they can control for that, but not cure with all these. Along with that, we need to tell them the spiritual healing, pranayam, yogasan like this, and proper sleep with padabhyangam. These are common remedies we can do for nerve weakness.
Okay, that's good. And one more question is that now for a 2-year-old child, for stomach ache and small digestion problem, what we can give as a prophylactic as well as management?
The cause of stomach ache is important. If it is pitta related, then we can give the Guluchadi Kashai, then Gopi Chanari Gulika. It is readily available with Kerala Ayurveda. Sometimes we can use also Drakshadi Kashayam. But if it is not related with pitta and it is related with vata, that means gaseous distension, constipation, in this situation, we have to give some drugs like Hinguvachari tablet or Hinguvachari powder before food with ghrutam, that means ghee. And along with that, we have to give some laxative like Triphala, or we are using here Panchasakar Churna. These medicines we can use. And sometimes the patient is having these problems very chronic, then we can administer some weekly or 15 days laxative of castor oil. It will decrease the problem.
Okay. And also any treatment modalities available for Ayurveda psychiatry management?
Yes, it is there. If the patient is having a problem of psychiatry long-standing, that is chronic problem, and is taking any medicine with psychiatrist, so we have to continue that medicine along with Ayurveda medicine. Start with some Saraswatarishtam, Manasmitra Vatakam, then Brahmi Pulse is also available with Kerala Ayurveda. It is a beautiful drug I am using from last 10 years. And along with that, Shirodhara, Shiropichu, Nabhipurnam, then some Vastis with Yamakam Sneham, Vasti of Kalyana Ghrutam, and Shirbala Telam, and then meditation. All these are useful tricks to control the psychiatric illness. But we can control, if it is chronic, we can control it and we can take care of that patient, but we cannot cure alone. It is a long-standing disease.
Thank you. And one question to Dr. Sadat. What are the treatments for fatty liver and ulcers?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Along with that, one or two things I would like to add. Actually, along for COVID treatment experience, because what Govind already says, the Rasijast of Kerala Ayurveda medicine is good for prevention. Same, exactly. The Rasijast and the Sudarshana tablet. Kerala Ayurveda Sudarshana tablet is a special preparation, so it is very effective for the prevention, particularly along with that the Indugandha Krida for long time use. One of my experience that one child he has been continuing Indugandha Krida for the last 3 months for some other ailments like the common cold and cough. But one day all the family is affected by COVID, but he did it. And also they have tested 3 times. He never got the COVID-19. So that's a lot of experience in that way. The same way for the prevention as well as for the treatment, the Sutrasana is the best medicine in Kerala Ayurveda. Particularly that the Rasijast and Immujust also is one of the that things. And the Chavanaprasham for the long time use also we got the very good example for the prevention purpose. And especially for the acidity and ulcer. Can you please repeat the question, sir? Ulcer and
fatty liver and ulcer. That's
yeah, fatty liver and ulcer. Actually, the same thing what we have started with the discussion with the gut and related with these 2 things. Actually, the basic reason for that, whenever the digestion is not proper or absorption is not proper, definitely it may affect the fatty liver. One major reason is for the fatty liver is our metabolic problem. Particularly the medicine is that the normal lifestyle change is definitely necessary for exercise and food control. Particularly the carbohydrate, heavy carbohydrate food in the dinner should be reduced. But the medicine point of view, very effective medicines and treatments modalities in Ayurveda, the Gandharvasadi Kashaya, Varunadi Kashaya, these are the main thing for the fatty liver. For continue the medicine for 2 to 3 months, definitely we can cure the fatty liver conditions along with the lifestyle changes. The same for the acidity also. The basic principle for Ayurvedic treatment is to correct the gut and the digestion and the proper thing. So the Drakshadi Quad in Kerala, KAPL, one special medicine. And one more thing is there, the Alsactil, one patent medicine for Kerala Ayurveda also is a very good medicine for the acidity and ulcer control. And Indugandha Krida, the same way what we are discussed like that for the after treatment, the Ayurveda treatment is not, should be continued to correcting the body nature and everything. So the Indugandha Krida or Sukumara Krida should be continued for the long time use after curing the ulcer condition.
Thank you. And one more question to you, Doctor. It's regarding a 3 to 4 months baby. Can we give D3 and iron supplement? Is it advisable?
Yeah, especially for that purpose, the common dose are already prescribed by the modern science. But in Ayurvedic point of view, I can suggest that the Indugandha Krida and Chavanaprasha can be continued actually. Indugandha, the age, sir?
Age is 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months, the Indugandha Krida is the best choice for that actually. The 5 drops of the Indugandha Krida can be given along with the breast milk or honey.
And I have one question to Dr. Godwin. Is there any treatment for Ayurveda, cancer in Ayurveda? Is it advisable? Any role in Ayurveda to treat cancer? It's a very
yes.
question.
Yeah, it's a very long.
Yeah, but we can compare and say that.
So, yes, sir. So basically, in first stage and second stage, if they come to us with lifestyle changes and a few other, Ayurvedic treatments and medicines, we might be able to avoid the further spread. If it has spread to many other places, usually it's a little difficult. So first stage is better. So that in the cancer, especially in breast cancer, we have good results. And even if they are doing chemo and radiation, side by side, if they can follow Ayurvedic medicines and Ayurvedic principles, that also reduces the side effects of chemo and radiation as a side-by-side therapy. So advanced stages, it's a little bit tough, but usually first stage, second stage, we can play a major role.
Okay, thank you. And to Dr. Mahesh, there's a question whether diabetes can be reversed by Ayurvedic treatment.
First of all, I can say diabetes is not a life disease. It is a disease which can be cured with lifestyle modification. Sometimes we see some patients are taking almost 4 times insulin, still the sugar is high, almost 400, 500 like that. So diabetes can be controlled with Ayurveda, and if the patient is very obedient and can do the changes in lifestyle, it can be controlled well without medicine also, but not cured 100% if it is hereditary.
And one more question to you. Is there any remedy for dementia in Ayurveda?
Yes, the dementia, usually we can use the medicine which are acting more properly on Majjarhatu. And blood-brain barrier is only Ghrutam, that is ghee. So the Kalyana Ghrutam, Manas Mitravatakam, Saraswatarishtam, Nasyam, then Shirodhara, Padabhyangam, lovely family atmosphere. These are all things which can overcome dementia.
Okay. So last question, that is to Dr. Sadar. My son, 17-year-old, recently developed seizures. His EEG and CT scan was normal. Now taking medication, KALPAM. Question to Dr. Sadar. Is there is remedy for seizures? 17-year-old.
Yeah, the unknown cause seizures are common nowadays, particularly in children. But particularly detailed investigation and all other things are needed. I think along with the allopathy medicine and Ayurveda treatment should be continued for some long, and then we can slowly withdraw the things. I think particularly for these type of conditions, the detailed investigation and examination is necessary. But definitely the treatment we can offer.
Okay, thank you. So I think we'll end the question answers here because it's already 1.5 hours. So let us conclude. It was a very good webinar, and especially Dr. Hegde has covered his views, and which is very very good message to promote Ayurveda, and we Ayurvedic doctors are very grateful to Dr. Hegde for promoting Ayurveda and talking on the behalf of Ayurveda. So that has helped among allopathic segments, doctors also that know Ayurveda, they are also thinking there is something in Ayurveda, and they are also looking forward to accept Ayurveda nowadays. So that was a good interaction and conversation with Dr. Hegde. Then we had the talk by Dr. Godwin and Dr. Mahesh and Dr. Sadar. So all of them has contributed very good to the subjects, respective subjects which they have handled. And I think now with this session, with this we can conclude the meeting. I would like to thank our Kerala Ayurveda team, especially our members who has contributed to this webinar. This is actually coordinated by Dr. Danya and Dr. Jayashree. They worked together to make this happen, and it is a very good work they have done. I congratulate and thank both of you for your effort and for this webinar. And also Mr. Manigandan and Sumesh, who has been the IT guys who is helping us to make this webinar success with all the technical support. So I thank all of you for that. And I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Ramesh, and also Dr. Anjali Richu. She has taken a pain during this COVID time to travel all the way to Mangalore and did this work. I thank Dr. Anjali for that wonderful thing you have taken up. And I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Ramesh Wangal, to get in touch with Mr. Dr. Hegde and make this happen. So this was a wonderful session. I wish all of you a very good Navaratri and we'll conclude. Thank you very much. Best wishes to all of you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you all the participants for joining us today. Kindly note that all the participants will be receiving a mail from us with the participation certificates. It might after you submit the your feedback regarding the session, so that will help us improve the way we get the sessions organized too. So please do fill in the feedback form and receive your participation certificates. Do check your inbox, and sometimes it has been reported that the feedback forms have reached the spam folder by mistake. Please do check both the places. Your feedback is very valuable for us. Thank you all. Happy Navratri and stay safe.
Yesterday, I forgot about Senthil, who has been our backbone. He has been supporting us to conduct it in a sequences. He never allowed us to discontinue. So he was actually following it up with all of us to continue the sequence. Thank you, Senthil, for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone.